Welcome to the desk.
Good. Now we had done an alternative method. Now let's see the second alternative method. From the question, we've been told 50 of oxygen diffused through a porous plug in 80 seconds. How long will it take 100 centimeters cube of sulfur 4 oxide to diffuse through the same plug? The relative atomic mass of sulfur is 32. That of oxygen, this should be capital O, should be a 16. So what we need to do here is that we are going to use rate. We can convert all these things to rate, where we say there is a formula which usually say rate is equal to volume over time. So we can be able to convert this one into rate. For example, rate of oxygen will be equal to 50 centimeter cube divided by 80 seconds. So that one will give us 50 divided by 80. That will give us 0.625 centimeter cube per second. So that will be the rate. Then we need to now find out the rate of sulfur 4 oxide, which already we've been given its volume as 100 centimeter cube, but we've not been given the time in seconds. So because of that, we are going to apply one of the formula which we learned in Form 3 gas laws, which says rate of gas A, for example, over rate of gas B should be equal to the square root of molecular mass of B. This one will go diagonal over molecular mass of A. And the molecular mass can also mean also to be the density. And that we'll get by finding out its relative molecular mass of the gas. So on this one, we can now proceed and focus on the question. So already we have rate of oxygen, which will be our A, which is 0.25 centimeter cube per second, over what we are now looking for, rate of sulfur 4 oxide will be equal to square root, don't forget, molecular mass of now B, which is sulfur 4 oxide, which will be 64, that is 32 plus 16 plus 16, 32, over now that of oxygen, which is 32, 16 plus 16, oxygen is O2, that is 16 plus 16 gives us 32, while sulfur 4 oxide will be sulfur of 32 plus 16 of oxygen plus 16, that will give us 64. So we proceed. In that we will get, let's work out on this one first of all. That will be root of 2. So root of 2, we come and do the root of 2. 2 root will give us 1.4142. I like using for decimal place. That one will be okay. So 0.625 centimeter cube per second over rate of sulfur 4 oxide. I want to do away with that, so I'll multiply here by rate of sulfur 4 oxide, rate of sulfur 4 oxide. This one and this one will cancel. Then it means I'll also have now to divide both sides by that. So 0.625 centimeter cube per second should be equal to 1.4142 rate of sulfur 4 oxide over 1.4142, 1.4142. That one will cancel. So what do we get for the rate of sulfur 4 oxide? In that case, rate of sulfur 4 oxide will be equal to 0.625 you divide by 1.4142. So that one will give us 0.4419. Don't worry about the many numbers, just put it into 4 decimal place in anything to do with calculation in chemistry. It will be okay. So then from there, we remember we were saying rate of SO4 is equal to volume over time. We will already now have the rate to be 0.4419 centimeter cube per second should be equal to volume, which is 100 centimeter cube, over time taken for sulfur 4 oxide to diffuse. So we work on it by multiplying both sides by time of sulfur 4 oxide. That one will go. So it means I'll also have to divide this to make time for sulfur 4 oxide the subject, centimeter cube per second. Then so it will be 100 centimeter cube over 0.4419 centimeter cube per second. So that is the time for sulfur 4 oxide. So centimeter cube and centimeter cube will go. So like now you are dividing and dividing, so this one will go up. It will be time in seconds. So let's find out that one. 100 divided by 0.4419. What value will it give us? Good, it has given us the exact answer as we got earlier on. So 2955, which is approximately 226.30 seconds. That is the time. So it's making sense. It is just like the other one which we had earlier on, and it still makes sense because 226.30 seconds. It will make sense because sulfur 4 oxide is heavier by having a molecular mass of 64 than oxygen having a molecular mass of 32. So it means sulfur 4 oxide will diffuse slower, taking a longer time, which is 226 against 160 for the case of the same volume of oxygen gas. Thank you. That is how chemistry is, and that's how simple it is. See you next time on the desk.